Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 27th of December, and well, the juggernaut continues as we head into the close. People are really just collecting nice returns. So we ended up seeing our 50K trade close out from before. It's not surprising. It's happened before. Be making an adjustment to it because there really was no justification for it other than when you get sideways and the ABMs catch up to you. But with this cyan under red configuration, I just have to add that one back in there to make sure that we don't get soft sells like this, because none of this indicates anything but just continuation to the upside. Adjust that for us. So we'll keep that one in mind. But from a daily standpoint, look at that. We even have short-term buyers rising, midterm green rising here at the plus 12 level. So it's just more people trying to capture that final year-end return, and it just is not stopping at this particular point. Now, that doesn't mean all the music can't stop, and all of this can be retraced in literally a matter of a few hours. Always keep that one in mind. From the euro, they had the increase of the Liven thing that happened there, moving back right into that upper range as the bullishness of this was clear from early on when we had our higher pivots and the orange dip and everything. It just did this wild move, but now stabilized after having recorrected into it and showing it's still positive viable, however positive extreme. So really, we will revisit those points later on. From an oil standpoint, continuing to break out towards the highs here. This was the previous range. If we get back to that range, this is going to be some real interesting talk, because then we're going to be discussing inflation for the first time in quite a while. As you can see, people are starting to get excited from a gold standpoint because they've been massive accumulation. We've been watching this build up. Right about here, it started to get a little interesting as we started to improve. Wasn't really able to break out for much, and then we ended up with a strong cross right here that has led to this most recent pop, though we've been positive shakeout for some time. That's that slow accumulation that builds. So the other day during the Christmas session, we had this interesting one where after we had a little dip, and that's what caused the, I know not much of a dip, but that was enough for 50K to breach the higher ABM level that it had. But you ended up with the green crossing above cyan here after a cross of the steel, but this steel crosses quite a ways away, so you know there really isn't going to be any oomph for it. So you might be tempted on this crossover right here to, move to the short side, which would not be horrible because you started to see negative shakeout and that maybe for a little bit of a dip. But certainly by the time you got the crossover right here, where there was a pop-up, and then boom, the green crosses above red, by this bar you ended up with also orange going below, one bar from a crossover to the upside. No, that's all bullish from that standpoint. And sure enough, that's what led to this prelude of the rise here. We've gone from, from this reasonable level, purchase-wise, it was right around the 26 range. Actually, if we look at the close, yeah, it was at 26, and we're now at 52. So, I mean, it's been a good ride. A couple of these little DOC spreads where we had massive spikes going underneath, we still maintain red DOC well above zero. What about this one, though, was the most interesting to me because it really looked like it had the potential. You had the reset, but literally within the next bar, you're already started back up above the zero, and that's usually the end of it. You got to stay down low, below the negative 13 for quite a while, but even still, you're fighting the potential loser setup from a short standpoint, simply because as soon as this starts to spike back up, you've got those short-term buyers just gonna push that baby through, and that's exactly what they did. It didn't take long. We already had cyan under red at this point. It was a brief spot that it turned right around, and then cyan was right back underneath red, and that led to this most significant move here towards the end here from the 35 to the 50 range. Well, that's the long and the short of it for now. So at the end of the day, it's still looking pretty darn sweet. Even if we look at the 50K DOC, this is all still bullish. So no changes yet. As always, I'll let you know if anything unique happens. Trade well.